Here on CoastLife, we know that those pests are exactly that, pests. And you don't want them anywhere near your house. We just had a bout with ants.
Oh, the worst.
The ants, and you have to buy the traps, and none of them work, and then you have to get more traps, or different traps, or spray.
And hide your food, and you just feel all itchy all the time.
Yes, and it's such a bad feeling. But in order to circumvent that feeling entirely, that's where our friends at Accurate Termite and Pest Control come in. Our field correspondent, Maya Henry, is there to learn some more.
Summer is here and pests are on the move to get in and under nearby homes. General Manager Travis Nichols of Accurate Termite and Pest Control says to get rid of those creepy crawlies, routine pest control is needed to eliminate those unwanted visitors.
Routine pest control is always the best because insects move year-round. Regardless of whether it's cold, whether it's hot, insects are always moving around. Just like us, when it's hot outside, they want to get inside. When it's cold outside, they want to get inside. So the best thing to do is have a routine maintenance plan to make sure that your home stays protected year-round.
Unfortunately, an amount of pest activity will always be present, but continuous maintenance can help control the number of pests near your home.
So routine maintenance, we will come out quarterly. Once every 3 months, we will come out to do a maintenance treatment around the exterior perimeter of the home. We'll treat around your foundation, your door frames, your window frames, the eaves, most of your entry points into the home there.
As the summer heat begins to rise, so does the number of mosquitoes in your backyard.
Mosquitoes can lay 100 to 200 eggs at a time, and typically those eggs hatch in 8 to 10 days. So that's why it's extremely important to stay on a maintenance plan, because imagine 100 to 200 eggs hatching and 8 to 10 days later becoming adults, and let's say that half of those are females. And then you got that whole cycle going again and again and again. I mean, it can populate pretty fast.
While DIY mosquito treatments can be helpful, Accurate Termite and Pest Control has a plan to stop them in their tracks.
We do a maintenance plan that is seasonal. It runs May through September. We come out once a month and we do a full misting of the yard, low-lying areas, shrubbery, things like that, where breeding sites are likely to be.
A strong team makes for a thorough 2-month training to ensure that their workers learn the accurate way.
After the initial 2 months is up, I personally go out with them on a route and just kind of see what they've learned, and do they understand enough for us to give them their own truck to be able to start to perform services. After 1 year, we do start to prepare them for state testing so that they can become state certified.
After their 1 year is completed, the staff take the next step to receive the education needed to perform a complete pest control service.
State certification is a test that is put on by the Department of Agriculture. You have a core, which is your basic understanding of pests, pesticide handling, safety, things like that. And then there's individual categories for certain things. You know, to be able to do mosquito treatments, you have to have a certain category. To be able to do lawn and shrubbery and tree treatments, you have to have a certain category. For termites, for regular pest control, you have to have a certain category.
Travis even showed us some common breeding sites to be aware of at your home.
So, just some tips to kind of keep in mind when it comes to mosquito breeding sites. You know, this fountain currently is not running, and stagnant water is where mosquitoes typically like to lay their eggs. So if this fountain is running, the water is not stagnant, which means that it's harder for the mosquito to breed in these areas. You know, another little tip for homeowners is, you know, keep bushes and shrubs and trees trimmed away from your house as much as possible. This is like a highway for insects. You know, keep in mind when we do our routine maintenance, we're typically doing your foundation, you know, your downspouts, your eaves and stuff like that, but we're not always spraying, you know, all, you know, up and down the entire home there.
If they show up at your door after routine maintenance, Accurate Termite and Pest Control will have an easy fix to your dilemma.
However, in between services, Accurate does offer a full warranty. So if you need us because something popped up, all you have to do is give us a call, and we do return at no additional cost.
Some tips to keep these critters from entering your living space are keeping firewood from touching the outside of your home, storing pet food in a sealed container, and keeping your crawl spaces dry as the humidity arises.
This segment of CoastLife was brought to you by Accurate Termite and Pest Control.
And you know, Leah, I was telling you earlier about how I was so nervous doing garden work. I saw these little bugs and I thought, oh, they're termites. They weren't. They were some sort of ant. But another reason to have this phone number, have this information in your back pocket.
You always want to leave it to the professionals.
Yes, yes. Or see termites and not think that they're termites. That would be even worse.
I had termites in my apartment one time, now that you mention it. Now I'm
really?
thinking about that. Yeah, and it's such an unsettling feeling. So again,
Yes.
we don't want pests inside the home or out and around the home.
No.
Mosquito season is also, I mean, that's what's here. And that's what I know they talked about with the accurate termite and
Yes.
pest control. So
They got you covered.
they have you covered in every aspect of pest control. And we've got you covered with more Coast Life that's headed your way.